Well, Keith, the Everton Stadium has been chosen to host the Rugby League Ashes Test. How much could that be worth to the club?
Yeah, look, it's a nice event to get, particularly because it'll be another almost a quasi test event, and we'll have a chance to test the transportation, everything else around the stadium. Uh, what it's going to be worth? Well, I've been doing some investigation. I think there'll be a small facility fee for renting the stadium, probably something like about £150,000. And I think there'll be a share of the food and beverage revenue that'll come through the event itself. So I think if everything went well, you could be looking somewhere towards £400,000 to £500,000. So it'll be, listen, that's all good revenue. But the main value, I think, will be in testing the stadium again and showcasing it really on a global stage, which this will be obviously shown in Australia, etc. So yes, look, it's a nice one to have, and it just shows, hopefully, that the stadium will perform well.
And Jared Branthwaite is supposed to be considering his Everton future, considering he was snubbed by Thomas Tuchel and the England side over this past international break. How much do you think he could be worth if they really do sell him?
Well, I've always believed he is in that 100 million bracket for a defender. I think he'd be the first one to go at that level. I don't think he's going to be going. I think the new owners will be very sure that he is the sort of player they want to keep and build the team around. I think the talk right now is certainly seems to me smacks of agent talk in the media, rather than any big desire from the player to move. I think that he's one of those players that certainly Moyes will have spoken to, will have understood him pretty well. I think he'll see the positive signs that are going to come this summer, and I think he can see that there's a future at Everton which was not there before. That I think will be very attractive. You couple that with a new stadium coming in, and Everton becomes quite a compelling offer for a new player and a young player like that. So I think overall, I'd be very surprised if he went. But if he did go, I think at 100 million, that gives some big ammunition in terms of rebuilding the squad overall. And we've seen Jake O'Brien coming in, uh, and he could be a ready-made replacement for Branthwaite. So things aren't too bad on that front, but he's going to be an expensive acquisition, and I think there'll be an auction for him, which would be good.
And do you think playing for Everton versus if he were to play for Manchester United or a traditional Big Six club, do you think it actually has an effect on his ability to get into the England side?
Absolutely not. I mean, there's a whole history of Everton players that have played for England. I don't believe that for a second. I think that's just purely I don't know why some of the journalists run with that sort of line. It just doesn't. It makes no sense. And no, I don't believe in that at all. I think Tuchel has actually seen him and recognises him, but wanted to give him a proper run in the under 21s. And I think he's got to evaluate some of the other players. I mean, taking in Dan Burn at his age really isn't going to be a long-term solution for Tuchel. He knows that, whereas Branthwaite could. But I think Tuchel, had to do a bit of politicking around these first couple of, which were really non-event friendlies. So I think we'll go forward, but I think Branthwaite would have a very big stake, and I don't think playing for Everton will have any impact on that at all. And in fact, will I think only be a positive next season.
And Everton have reported losses of £53 million for last season, the seventh season in a row of reporting losses. Can we expect this to change with the Friedkin Group?
Yes, we can. Look, there's going to be a number of things, not just the Freaking Group, but the new stadium as well is going to make a big difference in terms of the money coming in. And the Freakins have already addressed in many ways the money going out in terms of reorganising the finances, the loans, the interest payments, etc., etc. It's going to be a dramatically good picture compared to this season. However, having said that, the losses were reduced by about 30 odd million, which is a positive sign. We're still in compliance with PSR, and so I think we're going to see basically two transfer windows for Everton: one pre-June 30th and one post-June 30th. Given that is the cut-off in terms of some budgets for PSR. So yeah, look, it's going to be an exciting summer, and yeah, things are starting to get together. The executive team's being put together, and we've got to believe that the Freakins have got the right vision going forward.